Percy the piglet wasn't like other piglets. From the moment he was born, it was clear that Percy was different. He didn't enjoy wallowing in mud. While his siblings would dive headfirst into the muck, Percy would tiptoe around the edges, trying to keep his little hooves clean. He didn't squeal with delight at the sight of a trough full of slop. Instead, he would sniff it cautiously and then walk away, much to the confusion of the other piglets. No, Percy yearned for something more, something a little less muddy, and a lot more playful. He was always on the lookout for new adventures and fun activities that didn't involve getting dirty. Percy, you see, believed himself to be a dog. It wasn't just a passing fancy. It was a deep-seated belief that shaped his every action. From a young age, Percy had always been drawn to the playful antics of the farm's two resident canines, Barnaby and Beatrice. He would sit for hours watching them with wide-eyed fascination. He'd watch them chase their tails, bark at squirrels, and cuddle up together for warmth. Their energy and camaraderie were something Percy deeply admired and longed to be a part of. Percy longed to join their furry frolics, and so he began to mimic their every move. He studied their behavior meticulously, trying to replicate it as best as he could. He'd wag his little curly tail with such enthusiasm that it looked like it might spin right off. His tail wagging became a signature move, one that always brought a smile to anyone who saw it. He'd bark and yap, albeit a rather high-pitched and squeaky version compared to Barnaby and Beatrice's booming woofs. His attempts at barking were endearing, if not entirely convincing, and when it came to cuddling, Percy was a natural, snuggling up to his canine companions at every opportunity. He found comfort and warmth in their furry embrace. At first, Barnaby and Beatrice were a little unsure what to make of this peculiar piglet. They had never seen a piglet act quite like this before. But Percy's infectious enthusiasm and genuine desire to join their pack soon won them over. They accepted him as one of their own, and Percy finally found the playful, loving family he had always dreamed of. It all started with a game of fetch on a sunny afternoon. Barnaby, the golden retriever, and Beatrice, the beagle, were in their element, chasing after a slobbery tennis ball thrown by the farmer's son. Their tails wagged furiously as they sprinted across the lush green field. Percy, the little piglet, watched them with wide eyes, desperate to join in. He trotted along beside them on his little trotters, trying to keep up with their energetic pace. When the ball finally came to a stop, Barnaby and Beatrice, as always, engaged in a playful tug-of-war. Their playful growls and barks filled the air as they each tried to claim the ball. Percy, seeing his opportunity, seized the moment. His eyes sparkled with determination as he made his move. He charged headfirst into the fray, his little snout bumping into the dog's legs as he attempted to join the game. His enthusiasm was undeniable, and he was determined to be part of the fun. Barnaby and Beatrice paused, momentarily taken aback by Percy's sudden appearance. They had never seen such determination from the little piglet before. They looked at each other, then down at the enthusiastic piglet, and in that moment, something clicked. They realized that Percy just wanted to be part of their game. With a playful nudge, Beatrice nudged the ball towards Percy, who squealed with delight and began pushing it around the yard with his snout. The dogs watched in amusement as Percy played with the ball. From that day forward, the trio became inseparable. They played together every day, forming a bond that was as strong as it was unexpected. The farm was never the same again, filled with the joyful sounds of an unlikely trio. Their days were filled with laughter, games, and the kind of joy that only true friendship can bring. The fields were their playground, a vast expanse where they could be free and happy. Every morning they would gather, their hearts light and their spirits high, ready for another day of fun and adventure. Barnaby, the eldest and wisest of the group, took on the role of Percy's mentor, teaching him the ways of dogdom. He showed Percy how to sniff out the best spots for treats and how to bark just right to get attention. Barnaby's patience and kindness made him a beloved figure among the animals. Beatrice, with her boundless energy and love of mischief, was Percy's partner in crime. Together they would plan little adventures, always looking for the next bit of fun. Whether it was sneaking into the vegetable patch or playing hide and seek, they were inseparable. They would race through the fields, Percy's short legs struggling to keep up with Beatrice's long strides, his happy oinks echoing through the air. The thrill of the chase filled their hearts with joy, and the fields echoed with their laughter. They'd splash in puddles, muddying themselves from snout to tail. The cool water was a welcome relief on hot days, and the mud was just an added bonus. Their playful antics left them covered in dirt but filled with happiness. Percy even attempted to dig holes, though his efforts usually ended with him face first in the dirt, much to the amusement of his canine companions. His determination and enthusiasm were infectious, and his friends couldn't help but laugh and cheer him on. As the sun began to set each day, casting long shadows across the farmyard, the trio would often be found curled up together in the hayloft, their bodies a symphony of snores and soft sighs. Percy, nestled between the warmth of his two dog friends, felt a sense of belonging he'd never known before. He may have been a pig, but in the company of Barnaby and Beatrice, he was home. Their friendship proved that love and companionship know no bounds, no species, no difference at all. They were a reminder that sometimes the most unlikely of friendships can be the most beautiful.